Do. All right, here we go. We're getting live. Hopefully. Let's take a look here, Steve, and see if we are live, and then we'll do our little sharing ritual.
Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring. And by the way, since we're talking about social media today, which is our topic, Facebook made a change again. Now they're driving me crazy one more time. They made life a little easier when you hit share and you hit group. You could just go this group, this group, this group, this group, this group, and now they took that away again. So that lasted a couple of weeks, and now it's gone. Now you have to go to each group, post it, go back, go to the group, post it, go back, go to another group, post it. What a pain in the bum. What a pain in the bum.
Yeah.
But we're going to do that right now, folks. So if you're catching on right now, we're going to be doing our little sharing is caring section here. And while we do that, I'm going to play a little bit of Steve's favorite song. Here it comes.
I'll turn the volume down.
This is the best song ever made in the world. This is the best song ever made in the world. Other songs are good, even some are really good, but they are not the best songs ever made in the world. It has a lot of good beats and a lot of good singing, and the music is so good that even scientists don't know what it is. You can listen to it anywhere, on a bike or on a different bike. You can dance to it anytime, in the morning or with your arms. You can also dance to it at other times, like at lunch. What are you gonna have for lunch? I'm gonna have 2 soups. If you already haven't noticed, soup is my favorite food. I also really like my watch, but my favorite song is this song. This is the best song ever made in the world.
We're sharing out our feed to many locations
ever made in the
before we
world.
get started.
Other
Listening to our
songs make
favorite
people
song.
dance like Beyonce and M&M's, but they are not the best song ever made in the world. If you like listening to songs with your ears, well, this is the song for you. You can listen to it while you jog or while you're running away from cars. My friend who is a mailman even likes this song. I guess a lot of mail gets delivered here because he stands on his corner a lot. If you like eating sandwiches, you'll probably like this song, because just like sandwiches, this song is not made out of glass. A glass sandwich? That would be gross. I'll just stick with soup. Did I mention soup's my favorite food? Oh yeah, I did. This is the best song ever made in the world.
This really is the best
This
song
is
in the
the
world.
best song ever made in the world. Other songs have different instruments, like guitar or girl, but they are not the best songs ever made in the world. If you like this song a lot, say that you like it a lot. I like it a lot. And if you think this song's the best, have a bowl of soup with me. Oh boy, that is good soup. And if you think the song's the best in the world, have a second bowl of soup with me. That is also good soup.
Okay, I think we've done it, Steve.
I tricked you.
All right, we're back. We've been sharing to our groups and our pages, and before we get started with the actual show, I was telling Steve, they had this great feature in Facebook now where you post something, and then you can hit share, and you hit groups, and it'll list all the groups, and you can just go this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and just click a button. Well, this week they decided to take that away again. I'm guessing people spammed the living heck out of it, and so now they're making it where you have to do it individually. So it literally takes 5 times longer to do than it did last week. And you have to remember which groups you just did, because if you're doing it to 10 different groups, by the time you're on group 5, you go to do the next one, you can't remember which one you already did. So
Right.
could actually be worse for the spamming, because you're going to put the same things multiple times. But
And
in
imagine,
any case...
Imagine if you have brain damage from alcohol and drugs. That would be really tough.
Yeah. I mean, look at me. I don't do alcohol or drugs, and I've got insane brain damage and craziness.
Yeah.
So imagine if I did that too.
I don't do alcohol and drugs, but I have brain damage from it.
Indeed. All right. Speaking of brain damage, we're going to talk about social media today, which is akin to the same things. So, Steve, are you ready to hit that song, and we'll get this thing on the road?
Let's get her going, Dara Ray.
All right. And here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2. On today's episode of Video Marketing Madness, we're going to talk about social media. What should you be doing with it? Where should you be doing it? How often? And how does video fit into all of that? All of that discussed today. And today's episode is actually made possible by our good friends over at Social Post Magic, which is a new software that allows you to schedule out and automate your social media posting so that you can have all sorts of things going out just like we're going to talk about in the episode today. But you don't have to have a full-time employee sitting there doing social media, and you don't have to quit doing your actual job to do social media all day. Why? The software will do it for you. And you can check it out now at raiselinks.com/social post magic. Check it out today. And with that, we're going to hit our favorite song besides the one we played during the interlude. Here it comes.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.
And it's the radio show about Video Marketing Madness with Ray, the video guy. You know, you make a good clown, you know that?
I do, it's true.
He's got his face right in the camera for those of you that listen to the
Watch
audio.
live. That's the advantages of watching live.
That's right. Go VMM, the landing page, Apple Podcasts, one of the biggest podcatchers we're on. Leave us a 5-star review. Say nice things about us.
Excellent. Yes, please do. In fact, you know, I'm gonna implement something new, Steve. I think what we need to do is we need to check those reviews and mention people by name on the podcast when they leave a review. So if you leave a review, we're going to mention you by name. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a review, and we'll give you a shout out right here on the show. Why not?
That's groovy. Starting next week.
That's well worth it. That should get people watching way more often. And listening more often.
Starting next week if Ray remembers.
That's right. If I remember, we'll do it next week.
Yeah.
And if anybody leaves a review, got to leave a review.
Got to leave a review. Yeah.
A good one, preferably.
Yeah.
But, speaking of reviews, one of the things that we're going to talk about today with social media is reviews.
Oh.
And because they are a big potential part of doing your social media posting.
Yeah.
How exciting is that?
Very.
Social media. Social.
Social.
So, all right. So, Steve, how often do you do your social media?
Well, I mean, I got my Facebook and that. Well, okay, wait a minute. Now that I think about it, I use it to build authority. So I do a lot of posting every day. Yeah, so I stand up a page, I stand up a video, I stand up whatever, and I use the...
Steve is a stand-up sort of guy.
I'm a stand-up sort of guy. So like DUI lawyer, Ogden, Utah, and the link, and the citation, and that goes out to If This Then That and gets syndicated, and then I put it on my Facebook and my Twitter.
That's, it's funny you mentioned If This Then That. If you don't know what that is, we'll talk a little bit about that as well, because that's something that we're using with some of the tools that we work with. It actually helps to enhance some of that. So, yeah, it'll
it saves you a lot of time because it'll do the auto posting for you across many different Web 2.0s, and that gives you authority in Google's eye. That you are who you say you are when you do that kind of stuff, and you do that often enough, which I do daily, then it amounts to something. Now you're talking more though about audience engagement, right? With social media madness.
Well, I'm just talking about social media in general. If you're a business, how should you be using it? When should you be using it? Where should you be using it? All that kind of stuff.
That's a good business application, what I just talked about.
It absolutely is. But I want to talk a little bit about numbers here. This is where everybody will tune out, but don't tune out because I'm going to surprise you with some numbers here. As soon as we say we're going to talk about numbers, everybody's going to run away. But we're going to talk about numbers on social media. What?
I told when I agreed to do whatever the heck I'm doing, I thought there wasn't going to be any. Yeah, I don't know what I do here, but I thought there wasn't going to be any math.
Oh no, there's no math. There's no math.
Oh,
just numbers. There's a difference.
Numbers. Okay.
1 is a number. 1 plus 1 is math.
1 is the loneliest number I've
That's
ever
true.
heard. Yeah.
And 2 is almost as lonely.
Just the same as 1, but I forget the rest of the
like
song.
That. Anyway, I wanted to, let's do, I wish I had a sound effect. Maybe I'll make one up here. We're going to do social media trivia. Steve, we're going to put you on the spot here, and we're going to quiz you. We're going to quiz you, yes. According to the experts, and if you read my email yesterday, you probably would already know the answer to some of this because it was in my email that I sent out yesterday. But according to social media experts, how often should a business post to Facebook?
Once a day.
You say once a day. And I wish I'd thought of doing this and bring sound effects. All right, once a day. Let's see. Let's hit the button.
If you gave it any thought and prepared ahead, you would have had that.
It's true. It's true. But I've got sound effects prepared here. So here we go. You ready?
All right.
Steve says 1. Let's see what the survey says. Oh, wow, it's actually 3 to 5 times per day.
Not anymore.
Per day, Steve, per day.
You're reading 10-year-old stats.
Oh, is that right? Yeah. Sure
well, and
wait, just wait. You think these are crazy stats? Just wait.
Hold on. It depends on who you're reading, to be honest with you, because now this is totally anecdotal. I've heard no more than 1 time a day, and this has been within the last year that I've read this. Then I've heard 3 times a day. And that's been within the last year that I read this. Mm-hmm. And now you're saying 3 to 5 times a day. So who do you believe?
Well, what I did was I looked at a variety of sources and kind of pulled the consensus from a variety of the experts. All right. Now, the question is, here's a non-expert question that I'm going to ask you, Steve. Okay. When somebody comes to me, a business, and they want to do something social media related, and I ask them if they do Facebook, and they say yes, how often, on average, do they post when they tell me yes that they do Facebook? How often do you think they post? Once a quarter. All right, let's press the button.
Once a week, once a month, once a quarter.
Once a week, once a month, once a quarter. Let's press the button. You're actually pretty darn close. Yeah, what I typically find is as I go backwards in their history, they started off doing 2 to 3 times a week, and then it became once a week, and then it became once a month, and then it became once every 6 or 8 weeks, and then another one here and there. So you're kind of right because all of those things are true. They're all over the place. However, not one have I come across that does 1 a day or more. Never. It's never happened.
Yeah.
Everybody is always a couple times a week at most. Mm-hmm. And and a couple times a week, that's a good start. That if you're doing a couple times a week, that's a good start. Let me ask, all right, Steve, on average, here's the next question. On average, how often do I post onto my Facebook from the escape rooms? Ooh.
5 times a day.
All right, let's see. These are great sound effects. The answer is, probably. That's probably the answer.
Because I do follow the escape room. I'm kind of interested in what you're doing.
It varies.
It's fun to follow.
The escape room's a little different because we've got content that goes out probably 3 times a day. However, we also have pictures that are taken when people come and play the games, and those are posted to Facebook as well. So it depends on how many games we have, but so content-wise, we actually are very on the kind of the high end, probably on too high the high end sometimes if it's a busy day. But it's also pictures of our clients who want to see it there, so it actually does help.
Yeah, but if you have a bunch of people come through in the day and you take a bunch of pictures and you go over the whatever the amount is that you're supposed to post, who knows what that is? Ray does. But if you go over it, so what? I mean, that's a good thing then. In that case, when you got
people
something
say,
to post about.
they're gonna get annoyed and they're gonna run away. Well, no, not really, because Facebook doesn't show it to half the people anyway, or 90% of the people don't see it. So,
good point.
But yeah, so that's kind of the Facebook averages. Let's jump to Twitter, because this I thought was really, really, really interesting. How many times per day should a business post on Twitter?
Okay, now I haven't read anything about Twitter. I'm going to say 5.
Steve says 5. The answer is 15 to 30 times per day.
What? Seriously?
15 to 30 times per day. I did see some saying 10 times a day, but 15 was kind of the average, and 30 was the high end of that.
Oh, okay, now when you say that, are we talking about super users, or are we talking about retail locations? Or
I'm thinking more. Yeah, I'm thinking more the influencer type.
Yeah,
but that can include businesses. So, but yeah, they say the low end 3 times a day is the bare minimum low end. 3 times per day, and that's about what we hit is 3 times a day.
Okay, all right. Now the super users, like there's a number of super users, correspondents, thought leaders, influencers, editorial people. I mean, you name it. They do post a lot lots of times a day because they got a lot to say.
They do. They're constantly posting different things. I mean, think about even like President Trump would tweet multiple times a day on certain days. So it just depends. But the point being is that the suggestion is that because Twitter is so fast and gone, that the high numbers are really necessary, and nobody's going to notice if you post way too much because they're just not going to see that many of them.
Now,
regardless, or if they are, it's because they're choosing to.
Keep in mind there are people like me, and I don't know what the usage stats are, but I've got TweetDeck that organizes my lists into columns. So if it's news, I got a column. If it's sports, I got a column. If it's SEO, I got a column, or whatever. And in that case, I do notice if somebody's tweeted a lot of times a day. But there was one time I used to check that 4 or 5 times a day. Now it's once a day. So take what I say.
I check Twitter about once a year.
Once
around
a
there. I am not the most prolific. We post a lot, but it's all auto-posted, which is not the best, by the way. Of course,
Right.
We love auto-posting. We love software that does that for you, but it does have its advantages to do things manually, but you can't do it all. You can't be on all of them. Twitter's one of my least favorites, so I'm not going to actively be on there all that often.
Back when I was selling a service to banks, I had 500, 300, I don't know, 300 to 500 people that I followed, and they followed me back, and they were bank marketing and research people. And they shared a lot of information, and we interacted a lot. I shared a fraction of the information that they shared, but I interacted with those people a lot. And it was a great networking building, too. You could get to know a lot of people on Twitter that were influencers in the banking business. And then when you went to a show, you go up and introduce yourself and they know who you are, which is a good thing. So my point is I think there probably is still a lot of interaction, one-on-one interaction with followers and people on Twitter, that follow each other.
What's funny about that is I've had my personal Twitter for, I don't know, however many years it's been now, 10 years, who knows? I'm not even sure. It could be longer than that now. However long Twitter's been around, I've had it since the beginning. But I could not tell you the last time somebody direct messaged me or anything on Twitter at all.
Well, once I got out of the banking business, that ended that. Once I basically retired, then that ended. I mean, those people are still there, but I think they kind of took me off their list because I was just doing link building stuff on it. So, but anyhow,
There you go.
yeah.
All right, moving on to the next one. Pinterest. Steve, how many times do they suggest you post on Pinterest?
Oh boy, this is, I don't know.
Is it once a week, twice a month, 5 times a day, 30
I don't
times a
know.
day?
I want to say, 10 times a day, I guess. I don't know.
You know what? You are almost absolutely on the money with the suggestion, which is 11 times a day.
I'll be darned.
11 on Pinterest, 11 times per day. I probably haven't been I haven't really been on Twitter 11 times this year. But again, yes, we do post probably 3 to 5 things a day on Pinterest.
And that's the escape room.
Yes, the escape room, or at least it should. That is one of those Ifttt things, so we'll talk about that later. So in theory, we post 3 to 5 things a day. Whether it happens or not, it's another story.
Every time I upload a video, of course, you get the option to share it on Pinterest, which I do. Anytime I upload a podcast on SoundCloud, which is a half-hour explanation why I use SoundCloud, but they give you the option to post there, so I'm like, what the heck? Other than that, that's about it for me, Yeah,
the recommendation is a minimum of 3 with the suggested number of 11 and kind of the high end being 30 per day.
Now, this is businesses, right?
This is just if you want to be successful on these
platforms. If you want to be successful, okay.
Success on these platforms, that's what they're saying.
Okay.
So I can tell you that, we're not near the 10, but I may have to change that. We may have to update things a little bit. All right, now here's the next one, Instagram. Steve, how often should you post onto Instagram?
Are you talking about the ones that you post and go back and disappear 24 hours later, or the permanent?
They're just. I don't think they make a distinction on here. They just say posting on Instagram. So that would probably include stories and regular pins.
Yeah.
Instagram posts,
whatever you call them. See, I'm on Instagram just so I can see what the kids are posting. Yeah, grandkids and the. I don't know. A couple times.
My day.
Yeah, back in my day, we didn't have Instagram. We didn't have any Twitface
or Facebooks.
I'm going to say a couple times a day.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The low is 1. The suggested is between 1 and 2, and 3 is on the high end. Okay. That's what. After seeing the other ones, that really surprised me because that is way lower than I would have expected. I probably would have guessed higher than that. Not even seeing these suggestions from people. I would have guessed 3 to 5.
Now that I think about it on Instagram, I do follow a lot of people that I watch on TV. There's this couple that from Canada that restored a hotel in the Caribbean, and so I follow them. And other TV shows I watch, American Pickers I follow on Instagram. So I guess I have noticed it's about a couple times a day.
Yeah, and we do, because of the way that we automate things, we're still doing 3 to 5 on all of these because they're going to go to all these different locations each time. We can adjust that, and maybe after learning some of these things that others have said, maybe I'll go back and adjust that and bring Instagram down and put more on Pinterest and all that, because we can do that with the software we have. We can choose, this time don't post to Pinterest, but post to this, so we can do those kinds of things with our content. So might be something to look into, but we typically we do about 3 to 5 on each of these platforms. The last platform they have on here is LinkedIn, and I'm just going to say that one's easy. It's just once a day. They say you should post once a day.
That's what I was going to say too.
And that's both the suggested and the high. So they suggest you don't post more than once a day. We post a couple times a day, but I'm sure that's perfectly fine.
And this is for the escape room.
For the escape rooms, correct? Yes.
Now, have you noticed? And if you haven't, no big deal. But the people that actually do social media management for a bunch of clients, and what you're doing for the escape rooms, I mean it's a pretty big deal, But the folks that manage multiple clients, are they doing a combination of manual and posting software? Do you know? What are they doing?
I would suggest some of them probably are, and some of them probably are not.
Okay,
I do. Okay. So we've got every day. Even though what we have is we've got it set up right now where we've got a puzzle that we put out every day. Well, I shouldn't say a puzzle. It'll be a puzzle or a meme. They're kind of in the same hopper. So that'll go out once a day. We've got a quote of the day that goes out once a day, and then we've got like a fun fact of the day that goes out every day. So those three things are going to go out no matter what, and they're going to go to Facebook, they're going to go to Twitter, they're going to go to Instagram and Pinterest. Hopefully, usually. Maybe we'll talk about that. And then of course we've got the stuff that I post, which, I'll go in and I'll be posting things like, hey, right now I'm posting a lot of, hey, we're a Toys for Tots drop off, come bring a toy. And then I'll post things about games. I might post about a specific game that we're having that day, or, hey, it's date night, come out to the escape room. So all of those things are posted manually. So it's a great mix of all those different things, and we'll share things and whatnot. But the point being is we're trying to get 3 to 5 pieces out every day. And when we have games that come in, we take a picture, and that picture goes up onto Facebook automatically. So if we've got 20 rooms that day, we're posting 25 times to, Facebook. And some people say, well, that's too much. It's going to scare people off. It's not going to scare people off. If they don't like it, they scroll past it. And it's as easy as that. Facebook doesn't show it to everybody. That's one of the big things people need to understand is just because you have 2,000 people that like your page, when you post something, 2,000 people aren't going to see it. Go onto your Facebook page and take a look, and it'll show you 49 people reached, 50 people reached, 28 people reached, 72 people reached. That's it. So you got 2,000 people. You're lucky if you're getting anywhere near 100. I will tell you this, if you post a video, it's going to be higher. That's definitely something that we've noticed, is that on average, the videos get a lot more views. If you do live videos, which we do once in a while, we should do a lot more of them. Those tend to get a lot more reviews than anything else, a lot more views than anything else. But the big thing is, what kind of content are you or should you be posting? We talked about how we're doing a quote of the day. We're doing a fact of the day. We're doing a meme or a puzzle each and every day. Those are always going to go out. On top of that, we're doing live videos showing things that we're doing right then and there at the escape room. We're posting, specials that we have on that day. We're posting cool things that we find on the internet. If I see a puzzle or magazine article, we're sharing that on there and getting that out to as many people as we can. And by the way, when we post these things, I don't just go and post it onto our Facebook page. Once I get it on the Facebook page, I go and I share it to groups that I belong to. I share it to my personal profile, to other pages if it makes sense. And then that way there's more of an audience that's seeing it. So when I put down, hey, we're a Toys for Tots drop-off location, I'm going to share that post out after I post it to groups that I belong to, like, local business groups and local community groups. And I'm going to go to Nextdoor and I'm going to post it on there, which is not part of our normal posting schedules. But I'm going to go out there and I'm going to make sure that it goes out to Nextdoor so the people on there see it. And we've had a lot of people come in just because they know that we're doing the food drives and they know that we're doing the Toys for Tots. And they see that on something like Nextdoor, and they come down, and they never even knew we existed until then.
Wow.
And so, cool. It's what you can do with social media that really makes a big difference. Now, on top of those types of things, we've got our pictures of everybody that comes through. So as they play a game, they get their picture taken. It gets uploaded to Facebook. We've got a new program we're supposed to be starting, which I have to get in and really start to use, which is going to be even better. It's going to post to Facebook, and it's going to post to Twitter, and it's going to allow us to put information in the posts. Right now, when a picture goes up, it's just a picture, and that's it. There's no text, there's no link, there's no hashtags, it's just a picture. So we're going to be able to change that with this new software to really put more of that information into there, which is really quite exciting. I'm looking forward to doing that. Now, on top of that, like I said, we're sharing things that I see throughout the day that I think are cool. I'll go and share that. I'll share other things that we're doing that aren't necessarily escape room related. For instance, I'm an affiliate for Hunt a Killer. Hunt a Killer is like a home-based mystery game. It's really, really cool. And they send you these things in the mail, and you get to solve the mystery. So I'll post those types of things onto the Facebook page as well, because it's kind of related, and it's interesting, and people like that kind of stuff. On top of that, when we do videos, our videos are being posted back to Facebook and Twitter and all the different pages that we can. And our 5-star reviews, they get pulled and create it into a graphic, and the graphic is shared out with our social media. So now, you know, those don't come out every day. Those might come out every once or twice a week. So once or twice a week with that, a video once a week, 3 to 5 things a day, plus all the pictures, and we're posting a ton of stuff. And again, that's mostly Facebook. However, we do the same thing with I'm trying to mix up Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn here. Twitface, yes, we post to Twitface and and MyPlurk and all these different things. But no, seriously, all of that stuff goes out to Twitter, it goes out to LinkedIn, it goes out to Instagram, it goes out to Pinterest, and we do that because we want to be found everywhere possible. Okay, and so when we talk about social media, you got to include video in there. You got to put your videos into your social media and include that in your content, because it's going to be a big help when it comes to really getting some, getting the goods out there. And again, live video is another way to do that. Live video right on Facebook. You can do it on Instagram. You can do it on YouTube. All these different places will do live video. LinkedIn does live video if you know how to do it. So there's a lot of different things that you can do that can really help you, and you want to cross-promote all these things to all of your different platforms. It's going to make life a whole lot easier. The other thing that you want to make sure that you do is that you really cultivate these different platforms that you have as well. So you can't just constantly be posting stuff. You've got to go in there and use the platforms. You got to go onto Twitter, and I do this reluctantly. You got to get onto Twitter and you got to go like other people's things and comment on other people's things and share other people's things so that they see you. You need to go onto Facebook, and you can, believe it or not, and a lot of people don't know this, you can join groups as your page. You can like other people's pages as your page. So instead of, John Smith likes, whatever page, it can be John Smith Real Estate likes whatever page. And so your Facebook page can go out and do those things. And we do that. We try to do that quite often, go out and share, go out and like other people's stuff with our page. And it just, it gets people to notice that. One other thing that we do quite often here is we mention other businesses in the area. So, for instance, yesterday, did I do it yesterday? I didn't. I probably didn't do it yesterday. I was a little busy. I need to do it today. But yesterday, I went and got a sandwich from our good friends over at Great Harvest, which is right up the road here. And so, when I go to places like Great Harvest or I go to Johnny's Pizza, I will take a picture of my food like people do, and I'll post it to our Facebook page, and I'll say something like, hey, I went to Johnny's Pizza for lunch today, and I'll tag Johnny's Pizza. Said, it was really good. If you're looking to do an escape room and have some dinner, you might want to head over to Johnny's Pizza and, get the pepperoni pizza special or whatever. And those businesses, they notice that you do that. And it does a few things. It gets their attention, and it gets them to hopefully share that stuff and other people to see it because they did. And so it's a good community involvement thing that you can do with your Twitter to really start to build not only an audience, but to build friends out there that can really help you out with your business later on down the road. And hopefully they'll do that. And the Great Harvest people, they've mentioned us a few times. And so it's worked out well with that. Now, the question is, if you're going to post once a day to LinkedIn, 3 times to Facebook, twice to Instagram, 10 times to Pinterest, 30 times to Twitter. How are you going to do all of this? That's a whole lot of work. Believe me, I have trouble. I'm running automation, which is kind of the answer we're going to get to in a second. I'm running automation and doing things, and I still feel like I'm way behind in doing any of the social media stuff just because there's so much to do besides that. I almost need to hire somebody from the Philippines just to sit there and do social media all the time, which we may end up having to do. But the point is, how are you going to get out there and do all of this social media work without having to either hire somebody full-time or, if you're a plumber, you're going to stop doing all your plumbing just so you can do social media all day? Probably not. So it's going to be very difficult. You need to have somebody helping you out, whether that's a person or a software. And in some cases, you might even recommend both. There are a lot of different softwares out there that will help you to do this. One of the most popular is Hootsuite. Now, if you haven't seen Hootsuite, it's very inexpensive. In fact, you can start off for free. You don't have to pay anything. It's a bit of a pain in the neck to use. I got to be honest. It does a lot of stuff, but it's not the easiest software in the world to use. It's kind of cumbersome, and a little more difficult to get things scheduled out well for a long period of time. But it will get the job done. Another piece of software, one that we've talked about here before that we've been using for a while, Bright Social. That one is a very good software for gathering all of your content. I've got content going out for a year. Pre-made content for different types of businesses that comes with that program.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty neat stuff. You can put all sorts of things in there, articles, videos, your own stuff, memes, whatever it is you want, you can put in there and you can schedule it out. And that's how we do 3 to 5 things a day. We got all these different pieces of property going out every single day to all these different platforms. And they go out to Facebook, they go out to LinkedIn, they go out to Twitter, they go out to Tumblr,
Plurk.
they go out to WordPress, they'll go out to, it says Instagram, but what it actually does is you go out to Buffer, and Buffer will fire that off to Instagram, and nice little secret there, they'll also do Pinterest. So even though it's not mentioned inside of Bright Social, you can send to Pinterest at the same time. So you just do that with Buffer. You bring it into Buffer and you send it out to Instagram and to Pinterest, and that'll get both of those things done. Steve mentioned something earlier, Ifttt. Now this is not a social media platform, but what it is it's a tool that looks for certain things and then reacts to those. So you can actually extend what you're doing. So in other words, if you've got your social media set up and it's going to go out to Facebook, you can set up Ifttt to look for times when you post to Facebook. And when you post a picture to Facebook, it's then going to go, that's the if you post a picture to Facebook, it's going to see that you posted a picture, and it's going to take that picture and share it out to whatever platform you're talking about. And it could be multiple different ones, but you can choose different ones. That's how, you can go out to, I believe you can do Pinterest in there, correct, Steve? I believe Pinterest is one of them.
I believe so. Yeah.
And Twitter is definitely one of them. I'm not sure if Instagram is one or not. I can't recall.
I've got the list of who I syndicate out. Hopefully I've updated it recently.
Point is every time you upload to Facebook, it's going to see that you uploaded to Facebook. It's going to share it out to those other platforms, and you can even tell it to, put your website along with it or what have you, and that's going to extend your network out there. Zapier does a lot of that too. Similar type of software as Ifttt that's going to do similar things. I will say this: both of those platforms have lost a lot of the platforms they used to have on there. Yeah. So they're a little more limited than they used to. They used to have more options. If you post to Facebook, send it out to here. And they only have a few of those left. They still do a lot of other things, but when it comes to the social media, they have lost some of the sites that we used to post to through that, but still very, very useful for getting your stuff extended out.
And what it's really good for is bookmarking sites. So I've got Delicious, Digo, Bitly, Pocket, Instapaper, and then the blogs like WordPress, Tumblr. Although WordPress doesn't like it being syndicated, I got banned for that. But Tumblr and I know, but Tumblr and Blogger, and I used to have a lot more. Let's see this other list what I got.
But yeah, it's a very good program for that. And again, you start off for free. I don't know if you pay for it, Steve. I pay for the upgrade.
I paid for the upgrade, which is like $4 a month. Hey, what does and I can't think of it. What do you get with that upgrade?
I think you get more recipes and and some more tools. Like you if you don't have the upgrade, if you don't pay the $4, you might pull up. When I post to a Facebook. When I post a picture to Facebook, and then it blocks some of the things that you could do normally, so it'll show them in gray instead of in blue, and so you see, if I had the upgrade, I could do this recipe here.
Okay, yeah.
So and it's $4 a month, well worth it. Because you're going to be able to do a lot, and we do a lot with that. I mean, we're firing off Ifttt things, like I said, 20 times a day. I will say this: the one thing that it doesn't do, and I don't think this is an Ifttt thing, our pictures that we do with guests. When it hits Ifttt, does not go to Pinterest. Pinterest blocks it. Or something happens there where it doesn't go to Pinterest for whatever reason.
I'll be darned.
Yeah. But if I upload something to Facebook, like if I go to Facebook now and I upload something like a meme, that'll work. But when it comes from that software that automatically posts the pictures, it doesn't trigger it. It's as if it doesn't realize that it's a picture for some reason.
Well, that's weird.
But I wonder, I should mess around with that because I believe you can do, instead of pictures, you can just do any post and it'll update it. So maybe I'll have to try that and see if that makes a difference. I have to mess around with that.
There's things you can, not that this is applicable to the discussion in particular, but you can also take your RSS feed from your from a WordPress or whatever, and every time you stand up a new podcast episode, it's going to fire out. So, for instance, I got SoundCloud is going to tweet out that I just did uploaded a new episode, but you can do that with any RSS feed. And
nice.
So anyhow,
it's just a great way to automate some of the things that you're doing, because you're not going to be able to do all of this social media stuff if you're manually going to Twitter 30 times a day and you're going to Facebook 5 times. It's just, you're not going to be able to do that. You got to use something to make sure that this stuff gets done. And by the way, you can see results with this. When we started at the escape room, we immediately, the first thing that I did was set up a YouTube channel, updated the Facebook page, added all the other social media pages, started posting to all of them, and we saw our sales just skyrocket immediately. We did run some Facebook ads, but not at first. We didn't run Facebook ads right away, and we saw that those numbers start to jump. We then started running Facebook ads and Google ads, and then it jumped further, but just doing all of that social media stuff the right way did make a difference. And, some people say, I don't know if that's social media stuff. I can tell you from experience, it does make a difference. Now, are you going to become a millionaire just because you do these things with your business? No, but every little bit counts. And when you put that together and you start posting out and you do it more often, you're going to get more people that notice. You're going to get more people paying attention. You're going to get more people buying whatever it is that you're doing. So you got to get out there and do that. Now, again, you're not going to be able to do this manually. You're not going to be able to do this 30 times a day. You got to get help, people or software. And quite honestly, for me, the most part, software is going to be the key to that. And, the new software, like I said, we use Bright Social right now. We've been using that for a long time. I used Hootsuite before that. Again, kind of a pain in the neck, but it's very inexpensive, so you can definitely try that out. The other one is a new one that we've just started playing with this week, which is Social Post Magic, which is a new one from Walt Bayless, an old friend of the show. I believe he's been on the show before.
Sure. Yes.
So he's got a great little software, and that's exactly what it does. Is it allows you to take all of your social media stuff and schedule it out. You can have as many platforms in there as you need. You could have 5 Twitters and whatever you've got, and then choose where you want these things to go. You can create groups inside of there. So, for instance, if I was using that for all of my stuff, I might have a Ray the Video Guy group and a Impossible Escape Loganville group and an Impossible Escape Hesperia group. And then that way, when I put in content, I can tell which group it's going to go to, and it's going to send it all out. We can schedule it on the calendar. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we're going to send 3 things to Facebook. We're going to send 10 things to Twitter. We're going to send 1 thing to LinkedIn. And that way we can build an entire social calendar, is what they like to call it, the social calendar. And it's going to allow you to put that content out exactly when you're supposed to. And by the way, Bright Social allows you to do that same type of thing. You can set goals for each platform inside of Bright Social. You can say, my goal for the month is, 60 Facebook posts and 30 Instagram posts and 200 Twitter posts. And then you can set all that stuff up inside of there. So great little programs that can really help you out to do that. If you're interested in looking at Social Post Magic, it is on sale right now. You can get it at raiselinks.com/socialpostmagic. And you can get it at a really, really discounted price, especially because they've got a Cyber Week special going on top of the launch. So instead of paying monthly, you're paying one price forever, and you get to have access to it for the rest of your life. And it's a great little program for doing exactly that, getting out there and posting out to all of your social media, which we all need to be doing, and we all need to be doing it better and more often. I know I need to be doing it better and more often. So,
well, I'm going to say that if you've got a storefront, and I consider the escape room a storefront, anything where it's retail and you're bringing consumers in the door for whatever you're selling, you got to be on at least beyond Facebook. But there is an audience at Twitter and certainly at Pinterest. And but you got to be doing that. And Ray's talked about ways he's been able to drive business in the door. For attorneys, for instance, I think you still need to be doing it because it's going to build brand awareness. But the other thing it's going to do is build authority so that you rank better in Google. You just got to know how to do it the right way. So,
yep.
Something
There's a well-known attorney up north of here, and his name is Jerry Oginski. Steve, you may have heard of him. I'm not sure if you have or not, but he's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of YouTube videos. He posts them all the time, and he's one of the foremost authorities specifically because he posts so many dang videos. He's very, very active, and it's been very effective for him. So it doesn't matter what business you're in, you can be doing these different things. If no matter what business you're in, you're going to have 5-star reviews that you're going to want to show people, and you want to showcase those on your social media. You're going to have content that you can put out there. Doesn't matter what it is you do, there's going to be something you can put out there that people are going to pay attention to, even if it's just the joke of the day. Because we don't want everything to be marketing. We don't want everything to be promotional.
Right.
You got to give people a reason to want to be on your page, regardless of whether they're doing business with you at the time. You want to be kind of a community type hub. You want to be a place where people can see funny things and do funny things and solve puzzles and answer questions and, anything that's going to keep them entertained and keep them there so that when you finally do a promotional item, they're going to see it because they keep coming there to see the other things. So if you've just got every day is just buy this, 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 may not work for you. You got to have other content for people to be there. If a TV station was only commercials, nobody's going to watch it. You got to play the Big Bang Theory and then sneak the commercials in. And that's how you have to look at your Facebook pages and whatnot as well. Is you got to entertain, keep people wanting to look at your stuff, and then when you've got a promotion, they're more likely to take advantage of it. So, again, if you want to be able to do this right now, that Social Post Magic is on sale. We've got a lot of really cool bonuses that are going with it. You're going to get all sorts of YouTube and social media trainings. There's new Instagram training that we put in there. So go check it out, raislinks.com/Social Post Magic. I guarantee you're going to be happy with that. And by the way, if you've already got another program that you use, be happy with that. Most of them are very similar. It's just a matter of which one's on sale at the time. And this one is on sale and it's very good. So you definitely want to go check that out if you don't have something to do that for you right now.
Cool.
Anything else you got to say about social media, Steve?
Well, the one thing that I would say is do it. Just be consistent with it. That's the most important thing. Restaurants. I've always wondered. There's some restaurants I follow on Facebook. Why wouldn't they put more coupons out there? Wouldn't you think that would drive them in the door? And maybe restaurants in general do, and it's just the guys I follow don't. But I know a guy that has a little boutique store down in the Old Market, which is the old fruit and vegetable market here, and it's just all boutique stores now and very popular in Omaha. And he tells me every time he puts out a coupon, he puts out one a day on something. Buy a jar of honey, get the second one free or whatever. He gets a handful of people coming in the door, And, loss leader, okay, fine, but he typically sells them some other things while they're there. They look around. And I would think for certain businesses giving discounts, and I know you do with the escape room from time to time, that would be an important thing to do.
Oh yeah, quite often. I am not afraid. One of the things that I tell guys here all the time, I'm like, one of the best things you can do is give away a ticket, and the reason for that is nobody comes alone.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. So if I give you, Steve, a ticket, you're going to grab 5 of your buddies and come down, and I'm going to get 4 clients that I wouldn't have gotten otherwise. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's beautiful. Beautiful thing.
Not everybody, not every store and whatnot can have that luxury. Like your guy you give away a thing of honey. It's a little tougher. But in my case, it's almost a definite. Nobody's going to come by themselves.
Well, I made that up, but you buy one thing, you get something else free, or whatever. He drives people in the door with coupons, and
so get out there and do it. Coupons are another great thing you can put out there. Again, you don't want everything to be coupons. You got to put other things to give people a reason to even see when you do put a coupon out there. So
and he does,
Excellent. So that's our social media madness. I hope you enjoyed it, everybody.
Yeah, good stuff from Ray, the social guy.
That's right. And today's episode, by the way, is made possible by
By the
Ray. By the way, this show is made possible by our good friends at Social Post Magic. That would be our good buddy Walt. If you head to raiselinks.com/socialpostmagic, you'll be able to pick that up for not only a discounted one-time price during the launch, but if you use the word cyber, you get an extra discount this week during that launch, so you can get it even cheaper. And once the launch is over, however, it is going to be, I believe, a monthly charge. So you want to get it now before it becomes a monthly, because it's a very good deal. You can do all your social media.
Cool.
So there you go. All right, and for Steve and for Walt and for myself, let me cue up that music that everybody loves to hear. Steve, are we ready to hit it off here with the music?
We are.
All right. Well, goodbye, everybody. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. Hope you have a great Christmas upcoming, and Hanukkah and anything else that you celebrate, Festivus, whatever it is. We hope you have a great one for the rest of the week, and we'll leave you with this lovely tune.
He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy. His skill is where it's at, even if he's a little fat. He's filled with video expertise and has so much knowledge that you need. His YouTube ninja tricks can make your marketing so sick. He's Ray the video guy, yeah, Ray the video guy.